Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company main show of the Rag Company podcast.
Yeah.
And we don't have our notes in front of us, so honestly, I'm lost. I don't know what episode this is.
So
we're just moving along.
We're past 21, or we are past the legal age of 18.
I think we're 23 now.
We hit 21. We hit 22, 23. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 23.
Yeah.
Okay. It is January 8th as we are recording this, which I don't know if you guys knew this, but this is the day Elvis died.
Oh.
Is it?
Or wait.
Rest in peace.
Now he's got to look it up.
Oh,
See,
man,
this is what happens when we're not prepared.
Yeah. Should have looked
so
at that.
I only remember because it's my buddy's birthday. And
you just tie that to Elvis
and that was
on
the easiest way to remember.
Yeah, okay.
It's the easiest way to remember that. Watch this. I'm going to be so right. Yeah, January 8th. This is his birthday.
Wow.
Okay.
So I was wrong. Not his death day.
Not his death day.
No.
His birthday.
So
important distinction.
Elvis was born in Tupelo, Missouri, Mississippi in 1935.
Good to know.
Look at that.
Right.
Already burned it all up. This
done and done. Wow, got one Google search in the first 30 seconds of the podcast. So, all right.
I like it.
Since we don't have notes in front of us, we decided to kind of wing it and have a good old school conversation
talk about our
what
weekend,
comes to
talk
mind.
about what's going on in our life, and then any detailing we did on the side or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right. So Levi, weekend.
I put in those new lights.
You did.
Right. You got new lights.
So for people, I guess to kind of give people some background information on these lights. So there's some lights on Amazon right now. They're made by a company starts with a B.
We're going to talk about them now, and then they're going to blow up, and now they won't be as cheap after this podcast.
Well,
probably not.
I apologize for those of you.
They're just a great deal on lights. We don't sell lights here. We're not a light company. We're a towel company.
Yeah.
So if you guys go onto Amazon and search Barrina. B-A-R-R-I-N-A. Barrina LED T5 integrated single fixture. They're 4-footers. They're 6500K. So that means they're super bright or like a daylighter bulb.
They have different colors
20 watts
available.
Yeah. But this is the kicker. You get 6 of them.
Yeah.
They're single bars and they're linkable, which is dope.
And they come with both connections.
24 feet of light.
24 feet of light, but you can only run 3 on one plug.
Correct.
So you can't link all 6 together. But they're only $49.99.
Yeah, it's
insane.
It's such a stupid good deal.
It's crazy.
And we know it's a good deal because we actually have them in our studio and use them now.
We just put them
They
in.
work great.
So anyway, Anthony turned me on to them. He had them in his garage.
Built a light wall is what I did on one of my walls for
awesome.
detailing.
Yeah.
It's super bright. I just liked it because I wanted some reference light to look over body lines, to look over any type of dings, dents, chips, things like that, or scratches and swirls. And I needed some reference lights that were nice and big and then casted a lot of light, and that's what these were.
Yeah, and they've got diffusers over them, too.
Yeah, so they're a nice,
LED,
smooth, clean light. I mean, if you're looking for defects, you're going to be using a scan grip or something. Yeah. But if you want to light up the area, you can't do better than these things.
Yeah, and in my garage, I have lights in the front half, but the back half, I don't have lights. Because I've just been lazy. I've been in my garage for 10 years, and I've just been lazy. Yeah. So that was one of the things that was, as I've worked on my cars more and more at home, because I always had lights at work.
Yeah.
Never had to worry about having enough light. I was always good there.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't need it to be at home because I didn't really do anything. But now that I've been doing more stuff at home, I needed more lights in the back half of the garage.
Yeah.
So the front half of the car is always very well lit. The back half is never very well lit. So
everybody knows that dark corners in your garage, right? That never see light, and you know there's spiders or something.
And I've had my scan grips, and I've brought them home with me, and I've worked with them, and they're fine. But just having more ambient light, like we talk about, just having that more reference light around.
That's why we put them in the studio down there. We needed more ambient light.
Yeah, and we got a lot in the studio.
I bought a little pack. My parents gave me a $50 Amazon gift card for Christmas. So that's what I used it on. And
good choice.
Yeah, they just I set them up. They're super simple to install.
Yeah.
Because you just install the clips, and then you just clip the lights into these clips, mounting clips, and that's it. And it was done.
They're so light. They're just that really low profile
so I made
design.
Kind of like I guess you could say like a W pattern. So,
okay.
So because there's 3 of them, so I linked them like this.
Gotcha. Okay.
On each side of the ceiling. So, They look so good though. I need to buy more and get rid of my old lights and just put those up.
Yeah.
Eliminate the old ones entirely.
It looks that good, yeah. And then I was like, I could do this on the sides. I could, my gosh. So like,
next thing you know, your garage door opens.
For $150, I can like totally kit out my garage. And have it like brighter.
And this is great for people that are listening that are detailers that maybe are in their garage or in a shop that are looking at getting more lighting because, like we mentioned, this is already a really good deal. But these lights already come with the mounting brackets.
Yeah,
to where
they come with the wires. They come with the links to
link
them together.
Thing you need.
It's a little 2-inch, 3-inch little linker that links them together, or it comes with a static link where you can just plug them together. So
make one long rod.
They're super nice to have, and they're so cheap that you can buy multiple packs and have some as backups. And then what's great too is having it to where you plug it into just the cord itself and run it into a wall. You could essentially bring this light with you into the interior of a car and light up the interior. If you're doing interior details, you could throw a little strap on it, a couple little hooks, hang it from the outside of a car or something, safely, and then cast a ton of light inside.
Yeah, and they're light.
And they're lightweight.
So
they weigh nothing.
They weigh nothing. And so we put them all inside of our studio downstairs. We completely lined all of our truss with these lights. Yeah. So now we have more light than ever.
Well, and another reason you don't have to worry about them is it's all plastic on the outside. They're not glass. You're not worrying about shattering a tooth fluorescent with mercury and all this other stuff. You're not worrying about that. They're LEDs.
And they're LEDs, so that's awesome. So I got those all done, and I was washing my car this weekend and with all the new light. And I was gonna buy an IK sprayer, a multi-sprayer, before I left on Friday. And it's just it was Friday here. It's just
every time they're back in stock.
Forget. You pack your bag, you walk down the stairs, and you leave, and you forget. And so I was watching, and I was like, I forgot I was gonna grab one before I left. And we do buy our stuff here, so usually like Anthony will pick something up, and then I ring him up, or Dane will ring him up, or vice versa. One of us needs something So we do pay first, so we're not walking out of here.
Yeah, but it also means we have a lot of real-world experience with the products
we sell. So we can use them and play with them. So I was really bummed that I didn't get to use one, so I got to grab one this week so I can do it beforehand for next week.
Because you're going to use it for O&R, right?
Yeah, that's all I'm going to use, because that's all I do in my garage is O&R. And so I'll just wash. I don't foam because I don't like dragging.
No, but that's what the multi's for. So
so the multi will work out just fine, and mostly because I have a trigger sprayer, like a pump trigger, like an old school sprayer that is literally old and is broken. Yeah. And I can't tell you how much it hurts, but I have it, and I'm like, I'll use it till it dies. Yeah. And it's dying, and it should have been put down a long time ago. But I got to stop. But
having the multi put O&R inside and putting it into that fan function, to where you're just misting O&R over the surface.
So much more time.
You can coat the whole surface in O&R, allow it to encapsulate the dirt. Let it sit there for a couple minutes, and then start working away with either Big Red Sponge or your mitt or your towels, however you want to do it.
So I'm excited about that. And then I bought me a new toothbrush this weekend. And,
you were saying, is it like a fancy toothbrush?
No, I don't have like a spinner brush like you have or whatever you do.
That way I won that. Okay, I didn't buy it.
So I've always used it's an Oral-B toothbrush. It's like the Pro Touch or whatever is what it's called or something, and it's got all these different
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Fingers on the side,
like crisscross and things like that.
It's got the little fingers on the side, and it's got a super stiff bristle on the end.
Is it the one that has the rubber fingers on the sides? Yep, I know what you're talking about.
So that's what I've used. I've been using that for a decade. That's been my toothbrush. I don't get a different kind, but so I may be the only idiot in the room. I totally didn't know that there was a soft and a medium bristle for toothbrushes.
Wait, what?
I just told you I may be the only idiot in the room. I did not know that they make a soft or a medium bristle.
It says right there on the top. It literally says soft, medium.
He just assumed that it said it on all of them. Like it didn't mean anything.
So I just grabbed it. So I've always grabbed. So let's say the last, 2 years with my toothbrushes, I've been buying the soft Oral-B's. And I've been going like, did they change something? Did something
not?
What is
it's not digging like it used to?
These aren't. Yeah, it's not scrubbing like it used to when I was younger.
Yeah.
Now, hot tooth talk.
So when I found those, I was like, there's a medium stiffness. Like okay.
Yeah.
Then I was like, is there hard? Like, I'll take the rock hard one if you got one.
The gateway drug of toothbrushes.
And so anyway, got me a medium. I got me a 2-pack because it saved money.
Yeah.
Came home. First thing I did after I put the groceries away was rip that sucker open and
go give it a whirl.
I had to give it a test run. Yeah. Make sure it was right. And let me just say, the heavens opened up. And doves started flying out, and it was gorgeous. Angels were singing. I found my toothbrush.
Wow.
It's come back to me.
Yeah.
And then I went upstairs and told my wife, and she started laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Because she was like, "You didn't know that?" Like, they've always said that. I was like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't. It makes perfect sense. So. You
need to take it to the next level and get that 000 steel wool, right?
Yeah, get that.
Wake up in the morning.
I'm just saying, I'd bring one in, let you guys, I'd get you each one.
No, Levi, I don't want your toothbrush.
Not my toothbrush. I give you a brand new one. Okay, I'm just saying, you guys got to take a whirl on this magic carpet ride.
Like I said, I'm spoiled. I got one of those fancy, Oral-B.
There's a reason that I've loved this toothbrush for as long as I have.
Okay,
and then once I got to that stiff bristle action, I was like, oh, there it is.
There it is. That's hitting the spot.
So
that's like anything. When you find the product that really just clicks for you, you don't want anything else.
Yeah. Well, and I hated going to the dentist. Like, it was always never one of my favorite things.
No.
One day it dawned on me in my head that I'm basically, the dentist is a detailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
they're detailing your teeth.
They're detailing your teeth.
Yeah.
So you can either
they're polishing.
So
right? They're polishing your teeth.
Yeah.
They're flossing. They're toothpicking.
They're cleaning all the junk out. They're getting in between the seats.
Yeah.
They're blowing out all the junk and the garbage.
They are.
Yep.
You should think about it. They're blowing it out.
They're pressure washing it. They're pressure washing. They're vacuuming it. They're they are going through all that.
Actually,
so
they're
the
more
question.
than.
So the question is, hold on.
Okay.
So, as a detailer, are you the person that keeps your car clean? Or are you the person that keeps your car dirty? And every time you go into the dentist, are they the ones that do you have to do the deep clean before the night before?
Right.
They always know.
Because you're embarrassed?
They always know.
They're lying through your teeth.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah. And then you think about it. I've had customers that have brought cars in that literally ran it through the car wash before they've brought it to me.
Because they're afraid.
Because they were afraid of what it would look like.
Yeah.
I've also had people that literally have come off the street, scheduled their detail and shown up and literally not unpacked anything out of their car. Left all the garbage, all their personal belongings, all their stuff. And I equate that to someone who just goes for weeks on end and won't brush their teeth and then shows up to the dentist. I can imagine that those are like scary moments for a dental hygienist.
Terrifying.
So I was just thinking about that. Like, it's just funny to think, like, a dentist is technically a detailer for your mouth.
Yeah.
And then if you break it down into these little subcultures of like, because I've seen it all. And I mean, I had a guy who had puppies in his truck and then brought the truck to me afterwards.
Yeah.
To clean off the seats and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, like.
Well, I was going to take it one step further and say the dentist is also the PDR guy. And he's also the body shop guy.
Yeah, and they are doing more because they're filling holes.
They are
taking care of cavities, pulling
bondoing.
Bondoing.
Yeah.
That's so true.
This metaphor can go as far as you want to take it.
Do you have a dentist friend? We're going to bring him in. And
we're going to call that episode Dentox.
Yeah. but it's funny. Like,
you're such losers.
But I was just thinking about that.
If it's a pun, I'll make it.
Then it was once. But I always hated going to the dentist, and then all of a sudden, I remember one day, and it was probably when my friend became a dental hygienist.
Yeah.
And that was when I went in, and they were cleaning my teeth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like if Anthony all of a sudden became a dental hygienist.
Yeah.
Or a dentist, and you started cleaning people's teeth, and I'd be like, oh, crap. Okay, I got to actually, do something, because I feel weird that you're sticking your fingers in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And they always know, too. Like everybody knows when you're a kid, the night before you go to the dentist, or the morning before, you're sitting there flossing your teeth, your gums are inflamed,
for the
they're bleeding, and you're like, oh, no, I'm okay. I'm good, I'm going in. They're like, so have you been flossing lately? Yes, quite recently,
Twice a day.
Twice a day, just this morning.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Was this the first time in a month? No.
They're like,
it's not weird that I'm saying all this right now.
I did. I asked my friend that. I was like, can you tell? Like, seriously, can you tell if someone hasn't flossed or brushed their teeth regularly, and she's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's gross."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, well," and that like changed me. So for like the last 6 years or so, I've always tried to make sure like I buy mouthwash, I brush my teeth. Like I've started to, I'm not saying like take care of my teeth, but I've started to take better care.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend that has to put their, and my dentist and my dental hygienist are friends of mine. And so like I feel weird when he's got his hands in my mouth and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want him, like I feel like it's like
So one thing I do want to know though, so when it comes to like bad breath and things like that and bad germs, so yeah, a lot of it is related to the teeth, right? Related to flossing, related to things like that. But it's kind of like looking at a car, right? If your body work is your teeth and things like that, and you want to make sure there's nothing caught in between, the carpet, aka your tongue, is actually where you hold on to a lot of the...
Yeah, you've got a tongue scraper.
Well, I have a tongue scraper.
We were in Vegas, and
I showed him...
And he was like, oh, no, we were in Seattle.
What was I doing?
Wow, okay, maybe you want to... I am not... I'm leaving that in this video. That was hilarious. Okay.
Don't give people the wrong ideas here, Levi.
No, you had this, and I was like, what is that? And you were like, oh, tongue scraper.
I was like this, okay? Like this. Not like scraping hand over fist, two-handed. Sick. Where did this podcast go?
Hotel room in Seattle, and they were showing me your tongue scraper.
I was showing him my tongue scraper. He's like, what is that? I'm like, this is my tongue scraper. Because really, like, bad breath is a lot, has to do a lot with your tongue. And so I always scrape my tongue every day, and it's funny because I'm drinking coffee right now. The first place this coffee is going to be like sitting on is my tongue. Yeah. And it's like my breath's going to smell like coffee until I scrape my tongue, and then it's back to being good. So every morning, I gotta pull up my tongue scraper. I do my motion. I do my motion, and I. Yep. So it is what it is. But let's move on past the
so anyway,
portion.
that was my weekend.
That was your
I just started thinking about that, and I was using my toothbrush. I was so excited.
No, I just thought that's great.
But I thought about it, but it goes back to like different types of bristles and brushes. Why wouldn't they have different strengths of different bristles?
Well, it's like like clay bars. There's not just one type of a clay, but you have like different levels of aggressiveness. And
No,
well, I mean, don't clay your teeth, but I mean they have the mild, and then they have the
But a brush, like I've gone through different scrub brushes, different bristle blanks, different stiffness sizes.
You're not going to use a carpet brush on your paint, but the body brush, I mean, you could get away with it in certain scenarios.
Yeah, in certain scenarios.
I know some people freak out at the thought of that, but the
I
reality
think
is
you got to do it the right way. That's what it comes down to, and you can't take it from your wheel to your car panel, which we've seen.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. But anyways, Dane, weekend, what'd you do?
Honestly, let's see. What did I do? I probably watched a lot of comedians in cars getting coffee.
Yeah, because that's on Netflix.
Because they just put that on Netflix.
You haven't been watching it on Crackle?
Oh, no. I used to watch it anyway. Not on Crackle. I always watch it online. But, it would pop up occasionally. I was like, oh, this is fun. But no, I kind of binged it this weekend because for the first time in a while, I had a little free time. I just kind of chilled out. But that and the Chappelle Show specials they had on Netflix, too. So got those in. But anyway, what'd you do? Because I didn't do a lot. So
I pulled down. I was ready to pull down all the Christmas stuff. My girlfriend wasn't quite back home yet, but I was like, I got to get this tree out of the house. I got to start getting.
Not me. I'm leaving it up. I'm seeing how long I can leave it up this year before somebody complains.
Next year, watch. I'll be there. Dane, you left this up.
What are you talking about? Next year, I'll be ready. When it rolls around, they're like, "Oh, where's the
joke's on you guys? I've been prepared all year.
I've been prepared the whole time.
Just not turning them on.
Yeah,
turn the lights off. Whatever.
I pulled all that stuff down. It was kind of a lazy weekend. I didn't do a whole lot. I changed the oil on the Evo, and then I think Saturday night I watched the new. Grand Tour episode, the one where they Jeremy Clarkson basically makes the rally video, the Hoonigan, Gymkhana, Farmkhana. I love that. I thought that was so awesome.
I loved his little thing where he just tapped his feet on the pedal.
He's just like, jostle my feet around.
It's just so true because I mean, us being media people, me and Dane knowing how filming works and stuff like that, we see a lot of things on YouTube, the internet, on TV, where like that's so much movie magic, that people wouldn't typically realize. And I'm not saying Ken Block is all movie magic. He's a great driver. He's an awesome driver. But you could take a pretty normal person and make something that looks that crazy
It just requires you to have a good editor.
If you have a good
Somebody
editor,
with an eye for how to create continuity where there is none.
Multiple cars for Jeremy Clarkson's sake, wrecking.
Yeah, that Audi definitely didn't look like that, WRX
STI,
at all.
Yeah. So, I watched a little bit of that. But when I was changing the oil in the Evo, I'd realized something that I had not changed the oil on that in close to 7 months. But the thing is,
wow,
I had in the last 7 months, I've put less than 1,000 miles on it, right?
Yeah.
So then it got to the rule of,
poor thing needs to breathe. Man.
I know. I hadn't been driving it. I know. I feel bad, but it comes down to the fact what comes first to you guys, because there's the whole debate, right? To where it's 3,000 miles, 3 months, 6,000 miles, 6 months.
It depends on what kind of oil you're using.
It depends on the oil.
So it depends on the oil.
So the Camry is full synthetic.
Okay.
And that's by Toyota.
Yeah.
States on that because it's a direct injection engine, because of the way it's designed. They state it can only have synthetic. Which I was like, oh, when I bought the car.
That is it.
Well, because you think like a Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
Like, okay. But the way they've designed the engine, it states has to be full synthetic because of the tolerances that are in there, and the compression ratio and all that kind of stuff. So I only run full synthetic in the Camry, so it only goes 6,000 miles between oil changes, which is nice because we only put 6,000. We put 6,000 miles on it this year.
Yeah.
Carly and I were laughing about that. We're like, holy cow, we only put like 6,000 miles on it.
Wow.
I've changed the oil 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, by contrast, what about the Elantra, though?
Well, the Elantra is a high-performance machine.
So right, yeah.
I actually
it's probably got some ridiculous compression going on in there.
So what I do is a synthetic blend.
Okay.
So it's a high-mileage synthetic blend.
I see.
Mostly because I want to protect all the internal parts.
How many miles you got on that bad boy?
133,000.
Oh,
okay, that's less than I thought, actually.
Yeah.
So, but I do the same. I do the Valvoline.
Like it was a show car for several years.
Well, I mean, we got something we'll segue to in a little bit later today.
Now it's a show car. Before it was a daily driver.
But I mean, there's a bit of a contrast.
The Elantra I use the Valvoline high mileage synthetic blend.
Yep.
And same thing. I like it because it gets you the longevity. And I'd rather do 5,000-6,000 miles between oil changes than every 3 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done every 3 months, and honestly, I didn't see a difference between the two.
Yeah.
So with the high mileage now, it's about 4,500 miles between oil changes is what I do.
Yeah. No, because on the Evo, the manual states I think it's 5,000 miles because it's full synthetic mobile one 10W30, and it says. For every 5,000 miles, you're good to go. I'm that guy that I do it at 3,000 miles. Just, I don't know, for peace of mind, because I'm OCD, I'm not really sure, but I'm constantly changing. I noticed that since this is the first year that I've had my little beater Civic and I haven't been driving the Evo as much, I realize, I'm like, oh man, it's been 7 months since I've changed the oil on this, but I've put less than 1,000 miles. So then it kind of went into the whole debate in my mind, is the oil still good? Is the oil bad? Should I have changed this 3 months ago since I haven't been driving it? Or should I really wait till I hit the 5,000 mile point? Like where is it relevant? Like where does it all kind of pertain to? And so, I mean, when I pulled the oil out, it looked good. I mean, it didn't look bad. So I was like, well,
you would know if it was bad.
You would know if it was bad. You would know if it was bad.
when you take a look
when
at
I pulled it out,
pretty obvious.
I mean, it wasn't pitch black. It was kind of
well, like,
darker.
do you guys change your own oil, or do you just go somewhere and get it done?
On my cars, I take it to the Valvoline place.
High performance shop. They work in a lot of machines.
No, but on my Jeep,
there's no judgment call either way, because I know some people like to.
So my Jeep and my Honda, I used to have an Accord, and my Jeep Grand Cherokee. I would change those all the time myself, and I would use either the Valvoline. I tried out the Valvoline Next Gen, which is the recycled oil.
Yeah,
and I'd use that in the Jeep just for fun, because the Jeep had 270,000 miles on it.
Did that have the 4-liter in it?
Yeah, you couldn't kill a Jeep. You can't kill those 4 liters.
That AMC6 is.
Well, and it was a Jeep because it was the old AMC6, but this was after the 91.
The 4.0
HO.
Yeah, the high output.
So, you couldn't kill it. Mine was a 93, and it was amazing. But I used that, and I love that. That oil worked out really great. And then the Honda, I did the same, the Max life Valvoline that I do in the Elantra. So.
Yeah.
I feel like my cars might have the greatest disparity between them because,
you use
dollar
store.
No. The thing is, actually, in the Miata, what I use is, it's got 213,000 miles on it, and I bought it with quite a few on it anyway. It was a cheap car, but it was for fun. But when I looked at it, I started talking to more of the Miata guys in town. They're like, "Oh, you're going to be tempted to use synthetic, but don't." Yeah. Actually, as it turns out, mine, I got the 1.6. It's a 92. Yeah. So, like, in 94, they changed it to a 1.8 liter, all this business. But anyway, the 1.6 does not like synthetic oil. Yeah. You got to use old school oil, and that's fine. It actually works great. But then what was weird was Miata buddy of mine, he actually suggested, at least during the summer, this is for everybody is there, is like, oh God, don't put that in there during cold weather, but actually put race oil in, so it was a really heavy weight. It was like soppy, syrupy, and it ran beautifully during the summer.
Yeah, people would say about the Jeep.
And it was awesome, and it lasted a good while, but it was something insane, like 20 weight or something, crazy. It was that what was it, Valvoline VR1? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that stuff. I forget what weight it was, but it was heavy. It was really heavy, and then when it comes time, it's getting colder out, start switching back to your regular old like 5-weight 30 or something like that. But Miatas are famous for a lifter tick.
Yep. That was
so you have to you got to play around with the weight to find which one works for you, because not everybody has the same issue. Some people be like, I went heavier and then it went away. I went lighter and it went away. And there isn't really a rhyme or reason, but it just goes away at a certain point. And then it comes back and then you play with it again, figure out what to do. But what I was getting at was the big disparity is my C-Max. My C-Max is a hybrid, so it's not even running the IC engine, internal combustion engine, all the time. Mm. So in the owner's manual, it suggests not changing your oil except for every 10,000 miles. Oh, okay. Which sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot. So in your head, you're like, should I follow it? And it's like, well, I know a lot of people get it in their head like, I know better than the manufacturer. I know better than these other people. I'm always out. These people are trying to screw me. They're trying to, like, planned obsolescence, all this other stuff. People get hung up on these ways that the man's trying to keep you down. It's like, well, in this case, they're telling you that because that's actually the truth. You really don't need to change it that often. The car has sensors in it that will tell you, okay, now it's time to change the oil. Whether you believe that or not is up to you. But in my case, I'm like, all right, I'll take your word for it because I run on electric a lot, which is convenient. But at the same time, I was talking about my battery issues. That's because it wasn't running the engine enough to keep the little 12-volt alive. Yeah. So, that happens to you after a while. But it's the little things you don't think about. Stuff like that will sneak up on you. At any rate, I haven't changed the oil on it except for once in the entire time I've owned it. Nope, still waiting to the end of the week, and then I'll do it.
Dane's got to get a new battery.
You need to figure out a way to disconnect the electric part of it. And just run the
disconnect the terminals
for like a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Get like, 20, 30 miles.
Well, actually, there's a little button in it. I just press it, and then it'll save all of my battery power. It'll save all that power, and it'll just go like reserving 98% battery power. And then whenever it gets past the 2% of electric use, it just starts going immediately to the other thing. So basically, my solution is either do that or just don't plug it in and just run on gas for a while. And it'll do it that way. But there's little ways to do it.
Figure out how to get the gas engine to reach.
But what was weird was like it like corrected itself and started working fine. Wasn't having any issues starting near the beginning of the weekend. It's been okay since. And then it had a little hiccup, and I was like, oh, it's still not fully gone. So I'm gonna change that battery for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Anyway,
that's battery stuff.
I used to do that. Like I said, I did the same thing. Jeeps are the same way. So I always had fun playing around with different oils. And then I used to have a truck.
Yeah.
73 3/4 ton 4x4 was my first truck when I was like 17.
Yeah.
And you couldn't put a high detergent oil in it because it would destroy all the seals and cause the motor to start leaking.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. And so I remember my dad going, just buy the cheapest oil you can and throw it in there. And so I'd literally go to the dollar store and buy like just junk oil and keep it. And I put that in because if I bought Pennzoil or any of those, they started putting detergents in them in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And this would have been 96, 97.
So which model specifically was this truck-wise?
I was a K20.
Okay, yeah. So
and
square body?
73, first year of that body style.
Yeah.
And 3/4 ton 4x4. And so I had to put that oil in it for the 350 because it was just my dad was like, "Don't! It's gonna make it leak." And
Yeah.
I just distinctly remember the terrible diesels from around that time period.
those too.
My buddy had a what was it? It was an old. It was used by like military police or something. It was one of the Blazers, but it was and it wasn't a turbo diesel. It was just a diesel. And
those are pulling money now.
It's weird because honestly, it felt like such a garbage vehicle, but it just kept going. It lasted, like it lived. But I, under no circumstances, would call it a good vehicle.
Good luck finding one for less than $5,000 to $10,000.
And that's the crazy thing is, as rough as it was, it just, they say a lot of things like the old the 3800 series, GM engines. They would say they ran bad longer than most other engines ran at all. And that's true.
Yeah,
that diesel was one of those cases.
Yeah. So oil talk. I know people are probably
hot oil top teeth and oils.
Teeth and
that's
oils.
What happens when we go off script, but it's kind of fun. There's a lot of car people who watch.
We spent last week making a new video.
Right.
Yeah, we did.
With the IK sprayers.
Yep. Because we know you can't get enough of those things.
On Wednesday, we had our very own Wash Wednesday in the front of the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where we washed the Elantra.
I'm probably going to use about 20 seconds worth of footage from that whole thing.
And the C-Max.
Yep.
Because the C-Max had actually not been washed since...
How'd that happen? I must have let that happen on purpose.
Yeah. For a video, perhaps?
Yeah. It's always
It had been a while.
It's for the greater good. It's always for the team.
Made it down to Utah and back a couple times.
It's done that. Not lately, but it's done that.
So it had a good shell,
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah.
And so we got to use it
was
to foam all kinds
caked.
of stuff on it.
Yeah,
that was fun.
We did Ferrex, we did Power Clean, we did
car wash soap.
This video that we filmed, guys, is definitely gonna be that missing link in your guys' question about the sprayers.
How to use the sprayers.
How to use the sprayers. What's the dilution? What do they look like? What do you get in the box? This is everything you need to know about the IK sprayers.
Yep.
And I think we did a good job explaining it. We had a lot of fun with the video.
Yeah.
We
did a new style.
New style. It looks really, really cool. And so we're going to be releasing...
The original video was like an hour long. I've been carving it down. I got it to 20 minutes, so it's probably going to be right about 20 minutes.
But it doesn't feel like 20, which is
that's
really
the thing.
nice.
It breezes right by.
So that video will be going live once we get our stock of the 1.5 foamers back in.
They're still on their way.
They're still on their way. Like we said, we wiped out the entire U.S. stock of these foamers, so they had to come straight from Spain to get to us. And I think we still have some foam 9s left, and we have some multis left, but the 1.5 foams are still on the way.
But there's no other video out there like what this will be.
This will be an awesome video. It'll be great for the company IK, for them, for Goiseper sprayer. They're going to love this. And so, you guys should love it because
not to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty happy with it.
It looks really
good.
It looks really
awesome.
Good, so, and we had fun, and so we were actually talking about how we could utilize this style for other videos throughout this year.
Yeah, when it's more of an informational kind of thing. And
kind of
it doesn't even have to be stuff we sell necessarily.
Right,
it's just a topic.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then with our photo shoot after we washed the cars on Wednesday, looks so nice. Friday, we had a photo shoot.
Right.
We did. We had a special photo shoot.
With Levi's high-performance machine.
This is like something that he'd probably been looking forward to the entire life of the
Elantra.
It was so funny. It was
so excited.
You guys think, like, I love this car, but I'm serious. Like, this car is so fun because it's like that Doug DeMuro video about like it's the best car, the Kia thing, because it's a piece of junk. Like, my car's not a piece of junk. I bought this thing brand new off the lot in 2006. 12 years ago. My wife has driven it for the last 15 years or 10 years or so.
Oh wow.
And I've been driving it for the last 3. And
you can't stop.
I had an Accord, I had my Jeep, so I had other vehicles to drive. And then she wanted a new car, so that's when I got her the Vans and then the Camry, and so that's when I started driving it. But I drove it, and I forgot how much, when I would get a chance to drive it, how much I liked driving that little car. So now it's mine, and so I kind of I'm trying to have a little fun with it as much as I can within reason. My wife still goes, but it's our Elantra. It's just it's the Elantra.
Why are you doing that?
It's a family car. It's a 4-door little gas saver. Yeah. So I try and do things, very subtle, very simple. But we took pictures so you guys could see the moon discs. But I made stickers.
Yes, special stickers.
We made special Elantra stickers. My other car's an Elantra.
You got to be a real fan to get one
of the Elantra that we are going to post on our website, theridecompany.com, that you guys can buy, and we're going to donate the proceeds to a charity of our choosing. It'll probably be a kids' charity of some sort, but our goal is to just kind of every quarter we'll take the proceeds and donate them.
Yeah.
I put the money up myself for these stickers.
Yeah, we didn't even do it.
You bought them.
I bought them myself and had our friend John Francie, who owns Sticker Mafia, make the stickers for me. And so that's what we're going to do. Just wanted to, we thought, it's hilarious because it's a silly sticker.
Yeah.
I already got the sticker on my car.
He put his on his.
It fits perfectly. It looks like he's driving on the seam of the window.
Yeah. So it's rolling on the back of the C-Max. I got all 3 colors on the Elantra.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it comes in white, black, and silver. It's a fun sticker. And so for us, whether
it's
you want to
tacky.
throw it
Actually,
it
looks good.
Yeah. Whether you want to throw it on your toolbox, whether you want to throw it on your car,
maybe
your cup,
whatever.
Whatever you want to do it. Go buy it, pick it up. It's going to go to a good cause, and it's
you're in. Like if you buy it, you're in.
It's an inside joke that you get to be a part of with us and joking about how your other car's an Elantra.
Yeah.
It's an 06 Elantra.
Yeah.
Just perhaps when I buy the Fundra, I'll put a black one on there to match the rest of the
that'll look
paint
great.
scheme.
The Fundra. I like that. That's still a goal. We're actually talking about our goals here for New Year's resolutions,
you
started last episode there.
So remember, I talked to how I wanted to jump on, to get back on the diet train, get back on the fitness routine, and so I used to build out plans all the time for bodybuilding, for fitness, diet plans, building out macros for goals and calculating all sorts of
not
calories.
Not just like, I think I'll do it. No, you actually
it's like science and math. And so I used to build out a ton of different things. And so throughout all the time when I was doing bodybuilding and physique and all that type of stuff, I had tried out, different carb cyclings. I had done high carb, low carb. I had done calorie cycling, different types of diets and stuff like that. I tried intermittent fasting. I never did any fad diets, but one thing I never tried was a keto diet.
Yeah.
And that was because I love my carbs. I love food.
It's
and
hard to give up.
When it comes to bodybuilding, carbs actually play a pretty big role in inflating you and making you look big and bulky and helping with that. But a keto was never my goal.
Because you weren't looking to just lose weight.
Wasn't looking just to lose weight. But now I was thinking, if I could lose a couple of pounds by trying this new way, I could totally try it. So,
well, we saw the benefits of it when we were in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
At SEMA. Yvonne LaCroix from Optimum has been doing keto probably for the last 3 or 4 months.
You want a great example? Talk to him about it, or just look at pictures of him before and after.
And Graham Love.
Holy cow.
A bunch of the Optimum group guys have started doing keto, and they follow. There's a podcast that they listen to.
The keto podcast.
It's a keto podcast, and it's other detailers that put this on.
Yeah.
And so they talk about keto and all that kind of stuff. But we saw Vaughn.
Yeah.
And
lost a
he
ton of
lost
weight.
a ton of weight.
Which is crazy. And
he
so
looks like a new guy.
Kind of giving you guys some background
Same with Graham.
here.
Graham's
Same mustache.
We're going to see Graham at Voltech, and he's lost a ton of weight too.
Yeah. So for people who maybe think that, dieting is totally out of the ballpark for them, or it's, they don't have time to go to the gym, they don't have time to work out. For the detailers out there that are busting their butt every single day, you guys are getting a good workout. Levi knows you're working out hardcore. Going to the gym, I know that doesn't seem super feasible at the end of the day.
Well, and you don't want to hurt yourself at the gym.
And you don't want to hurt yourself. Exactly.
That'll cost you.
Because that's why a lot of guys don't. And there are some guys that do, but they've been doing it. That's how they've always done. They've always lifted weights and detailed cars. Where I was always a guy that had detailed cars, had never lifted weights, but was having issues with joint pain and things like that. And so for me, I could only do isometric stuff. Like I could only do the bike, the rowers,
somebody's going to give a side eye to like the Smith machine or
tread
something.
lines, things like treadmills, things that I wasn't doing anything with weights because I didn't want to damage or tear or strain anything, because that's how I made my living.
Yeah,
right.
So exactly. Use
you
your
can't
body.
risk that.
But so for the people that are already getting a workout, I mean, really it just comes down to it's just diet. That's all it is. And so you guys have to look at it. I kind of spoke about this last week. Food is food. It's there to energize you. It's there to get you throughout the day. Yeah, it is a treat and it is nice to have, but you have to think about it. This is just what's fueling you. Yeah. So a keto diet, like this is something like I said, I wanted to experiment with for the first time, and I wanted to try it so I can actually say, it works or it doesn't work. And
I'm joining you.
And I know it works, but basically you're just pretty much eliminating carbs or not eliminating, you're limiting yourself to carbs, probably a max of 50 to 60 grams of carbs per day at a max, depending on what your deficit is and what your total calories are. But to give you guys an idea, I'm pounding down 160 grams of fat a day, 120 grams of protein, and I think around 50 grams or 55 grams of carbs. And so it's kind of fun because I've always been so carb-based. I've always had a ton of brown rice, or I'd have lots of oatmeal throughout the day.
Pasta this, pasta that.
And now I'm doing the opposite of everything I've ever done, because the idea with keto is that you're basically depleting all your glycogen levels. You're basically making it to where your body has to run off of fat, has to burn fat. It's basically taking your old school furnace, that you'd be throwing coal in or something, right, to heat yourself up. You're removing that, and you're putting in a new source. You're now burning, whatever it may be, wood now or something.
Podcast and site is called Keto Geek.
Nice.
And it's Fahad Ahmad, who does Keto Geek. He's got a podcast. He owns Robust Auto Detailing, and he's friends with Brian and all the gang. And
so
all
plug
that.
For you guys.
He's a good. And so that's what his podcast is, the Keto Geek podcast, and that's all he does is help out and teach and talk about keto. So if those that want to learn, that's what Graham and Yvonne and all those guys are using, is learning from Fahad. And
so a lot of people probably wonder, like, what kind of foods are you guys eating on a keto diet, right? Like,
this is the part that got me when Anthony started explaining. I was like, oh my God, a diet I could actually do.
Because the other thing too, that's big for people that have a fitness goal that they're out there detailing, it's super hard to eat during the day.
Oh yeah.
You guys are out working in a job, right? You just power clean something. You got power clean over your hands. You can't go and eat food. You're meeting with a client. You're going from car to car. It's hard. Yeah. And then also when you get into the zone, when you get lost in the paint and you're sitting there polishing for hours on end and you don't realize that you haven't eaten. This is where, keto kind of helps a lot too, because you can do 3 meals a day. You can do 6 meals a day. It really kind of depends on what you have time for and where to allocate those calories. So for the people that may not have time to have a lunch, you can allocate those calories differently between your breakfast or your dinner and throw in a snack in between and still hit that macronutrient, those calories that you've set for the day. So for breakfast, for example, today, cooked 4 pieces of bacon in a pan, pulled the bacon out, threw 4 full eggs in it, cooked it inside the bacon grease, which normally I would be like,
wait, this is a diet?
What am I doing, right? But I needed the fat. So I did that. Pulled it out. That was my breakfast. For lunch, I'm going to have 5 ounces of ground beef, a little bit of lettuce in there, some salsa, some full avocado, some sour cream, mix it up, make kind of like a taco salad.
Right.
A couple hours later after that, I'm going to have some almonds, a couple pieces of dark chocolate. A couple hours later, I'm going to have some more ground beef with some broccoli smothered in cheese, right? Maybe a little bit of
Once again,
butter
I
on
was
the
so
side
taken aback by the fact that it's just like, oh, wait, you do what?
Yeah. And so, what all this has in common, that's all my food for the day, is that I'm limiting my carbs. There's no bread, there's no pasta,
Giving up those English muffins is going to be hard
muffins,
for me.
and I do like my sweets, and that's hard for me.
You can still have your carbs. You just got to be careful as to where you put it.
Yeah.
So
well, it's all math, so you gotta.
So you just look at it because it's the same kind of Well, and it's all science and math. But I look at it the same. My little boy being diabetic.
You got to play that game anyway.
We do it anyway, but it's different. So type 1 diabetes is totally different than type 2.
Right.
Type 1, the pancreas does not produce insulin, period, anymore.
Yeah.
So no amount of diet or exercise is going to help him. He still has to take insulin.
Yeah.
Where type 2 diabetes, the body still produces insulin. The problem is the body doesn't know how to handle the insulin anymore. So diet and exercise is a necessity for people with type 2 diabetes.
You don't really get a choice.
Then people with type 2 can go full keto and be fine.
Yeah.
And be healed. You could be pre-diabetic and go full keto with being pre-diabetic with type 2 and go full keto and reverse the effects of diabetes. You cannot do that with type 1. So I need to stress that, that it's two totally different things. So with type 1, though, it's basically in the same set. My son, any proteins that he wants, he can have as much as he wants. If he wants to eat bacon all day, he can have as much bacon as he wants to. The key, though, is if he wants a carb, I have to give him insulin for it because his body has to be able to process it.
Right.
Yeah.
And with little kids, you can't just give them bacon all day. You can't just give them lunch meat all day. You can't just give them. No. You have to balance it out because they are still growing.
Yeah.
They have to have everything. They have to have carbohydrates. They have to have, their grains. They have to have those things in their body to grow them. Mm-hmm. So that's when, people, some people have always said, when I talk to people, they're like, oh, well, so is that forever? Like, he's going to have to do that? It's like, yes, no, forever. He's going to have to do that.
Well, and another thing that
it
sounds like you do a lot of is like that hurry up and wait kind of thing, where you're setting up the scenario and like, this is what's supposed to happen, but it doesn't always play out the way you're hoping it will.
Sugar affects differently, and fats affect the sugar differently. So for kids, type 1 diabetes is totally different. But those basic building blocks that I've been learning through teaching him translate very easily into the keto, and that because they're from the same line, so to speak. Yeah. But they are two different diseases. So keto is great, and that's one of the benefits of it that they keep saying is it reverses the amount of insulin that your body, because what happens, the reason people get pre-diabetic or whatever, get type 2 is because they overindulge in carbohydrates or sugars. Right. And what happens is their body takes on too much of that and then gets kind of confused. It's like
oversaturated.
It gets oversaturated, gets confused, and it doesn't know what to do with all that. It's just like if you're at work and you get a bunch of 10 people are talking to you at once, you're like, whoa, I can't handle all this. I can't handle the information. So you go, just one of you talk.
Just focus.
Yeah.
Just one of you talk first. Let's do that. So that's kind of like what the keto diet is. It gives you, okay, here's all the food you need to eat. Here's what you need to do. And then your body can handle and regulate what's left of insulin in your body or sugar. And it can handle 20 grams of carbs better.
It's like reducing signal interference.
Yes, it'll handle those 20 grams better than if you're jumping and going, here's 250 grams of carbs because you just ate a box of a whole thing of Chips Ahoy yourself. I mean, if you look at it, there are some things like that where you're like, oh, crap. Like some of those new foods we got downstairs from a company, 64 carbs per serving.
Yeah.
You could easily
eat the whole thing, which is 3 servings of it. You could eat that whole thing. That's 180 carbs
done
for dinner.
Yeah.
Well, that's just that.
That's one meal. And that's not even, compared to some people's
You
diets.
have a can of regular soda is another 64 grams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just think about, like, it's very simple for your body. And if you're doing this every day, and let's say you're pounding energy drinks and you're eating donuts.
I don't know, Diet Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi's a 0.
That's right, because it's diet.
A regular can of soda, I think.
Regular can of soda.
Regular can of soda has 160 calories in it. So when you break that down, it actually has probably 30 to 40 grams. But pizza, for example, I could eat an entire pizza. I can pound down an entire medium, large
I believe
pizza.
it because I've seen you do it.
So I mean, so each slice has 25 to 30 grams of carbs, and so you look at a whole pizza, you're well over several hundred.
Times 8, basically. There's 8 slices.
So, anyways, guys, so keto might be a good option for you. You might try it. Like I said,
it's good food. It's food that everyone goes like, hey,
I was attracted to it because when I saw the things you could still eat,
fats,
it didn't feel like punishment.
Yeah.
Well, no, and again, it's a balance.
It's a balance, And so, so the other thing too is this something that you want to stay on for the rest of your life? You could maybe if you need to, but the thing is try it out. See how it works for you. See how you feel. Because the thing is, a lot of people, when they take carbs completely out of their diet, they may not feel very great for a couple days. You need to keep your sodium levels up. You need to keep your water levels up. You need to make sure you're staying hydrated. Because for every gram of glycogen you lose water as well. So keeping your water, keeping your sodium up while you're trying it, and try it for a couple days. It takes 2 to 3 days to complete
and
your
glycogen
get past
levels.
That hump. And you have to get past. It's called the keto flu.
I was joking with Anthony that I did low carb this weekend.
Well, it's like a drug use going through withdrawals or something.
Sunday night, I was like, I had the worst headache, and I was like, yeah, screw this. I'm having a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm
no, don't do it.
Yeah. And my wife was like, you just undid everything that you did this. I'm like, I don't care. My brain hurts.
So for people, try it for a couple weeks. I mean, set a goal. A couple weeks is not a long time, guys, especially if you can, if you're already busy doing things, just incorporate it in there. Just try to get past it and then see how you feel, see how you look, and go from there.
Well, my brother-in-law started doing this when we were down in Utah. He was like, I'm starting keto. And so we went, he got avocados, he got meats and cheeses, and he even bought pre-cooked bacon because he was like, oh, dude, this is great. I'm just going to have bacon ready on tap for stuff. Bought tons of nuts and things and got everything that he needed. And he's been doing it, but he also bought himself a glucose meter.
Okay.
To check his glucose levels because he is pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
And he was at he was at like a 380 the other night when we were there.
That's nuts.
And that's kind of what prompted, he was like, I just don't feel good. You guys, let me use Augie's meter.
Yeah.
He checked his blood and he was like, holy cow, what in the world? And we were like, what'd you eat today? And he's like, I didn't have much. I had this and this. But it was a normal amount of carbohydrates. It was maybe like 60 to 100.
Yeah.
But his body obviously isn't handling that sugar well by bumping him that high. So starting keto, he was like, okay, here's what I can do.
You got to turn the ship around.
Let's do this. And he's been doing it all week.
Yeah.
He's been doing it all week. He checked his blood. He checks it every night. He's been sending us texts and pictures. He was in 81 yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Which your normal blood sugar should be anywhere from
different.
70, from realistically, he's a little low. Should be right at about 100.
100, yeah.
100 to 150 is pretty normal.
Yeah.
Anything above that starts to get a little crazy. Anything below that, you should probably eat something. And
so 380 was
380 was very high.
380 is about to go to the hospital, basically.
Screaming, alarms going off.
Above 400 to 500, your brain starts to boil, so to speak, in carbohydrates and sugar. It's that joke. People go like, "Oh, I get a sugar high." No, you do get a sugar high. It messes you up. And like when we took Augie to the hospital, he was at a 500.
Yeah.
At that moment, and then he still was climbing. He hit a 900. And 900 is when you hit DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis, where your blood turns to acetone.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Basically, that's what, once your organs and stuff start taking in that's when they start shutting down.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we got him right at the right moment, and then they started to give him insulin to bring him back down. And so that's why with type 2 people, they do have to take insulin. But it's the joke, like the office joke of Stanley going, I took insulin for this cake. When are we going to have it? And he's like getting mad because his blood sugar's starting to drop. He needs to eat. He took like extra insulin so he could enjoy his cake. It is that. And that's what we were trying to explain to my brother-in-law was like, well, you don't have to just completely cut it out. But this is the goal of this is so that if you eat healthy and you eat right, you can still have that. It's just you have it in moderation.
Yeah. Right. And nowadays, guys, more than ever before, ever in time, you have more tools to help you out with your diet process and get back on track and actually become educated than ever before.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's insane.
So many resources.
40, 50 years ago, you'd have to go to a specialist. You would have to go see somebody who maybe has experimented with stuff like that. Or you just said, F it and smoked your pack of cigarettes, drank your bottle and then ate whatever you wanted.
Go all the machinist and just tune on cigarettes.
So it's like, back in the day, but now you can do a Google search and type in, healthy diet plan or healthy keto plan or whatever it is.
Well, there's a Calorie King app.
Yeah.
You can literally, I have that on my phone. You can type in anything and it'll give you all the macros of everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you type in Chick-fil-A, it'll tell you the macros of Chick-fil-A. You type in McDonald's, it'll tell you that. You go to the grocery store and just go avocado, it'll give you the macros of an avocado.
Yeah.
And the big takeaway is just to make sure you're responsible with how you do this kind of stuff because a lot of people get sucked into diet and they just go headlong down a rabbit hole.
So English muffins.
Yeah.
There's a huge variation between the English muffin as to how many carbs are in each one.
Yeah, there's the raisin English muffins, there's the whole grain English muffins, there's the white English muffins, there's the sourdough English
between
muffins.
The different companies.
So
I go between sourdough and whole grain. Those are kind of my two that I love.
If you were like, my favorite, let's say Fran's sourdough is out, I'll just get the Kroger sourdough.
It's a different ballgame.
It's a difference of 10 grams of carbs between the two. And so, because I have to do that, I have to check and count carbs for everything Augie eats. And so, for me, if I can maximize the amount of carbs in his diet, so if I can go like, I want him to have 40 grams of carbs, I have to break for each meal. I have to break down what he can eat in his meal. And for little kids, I mean, we're talking barely a serving for half this stuff. So chocolate milk.
Sometimes it's a fraction.
He's
of
3.
A thing.
He loves chocolate milk. That
he
wants to have chocolate milk.
Well, and if you're anything like me, like an ounce of something is torture if you can't have any more of it.
Yeah.
Like, I want my son, just an ounce, really? That's it?
That's all you're going to give me?
Yeah, and that was how it was. So the first chocolate milk that we got him was like Dairy Gold that we've always been carrying at the house. We've always gotten. It's just the normal. It's a local local creamery.
It's a local brewery.
Whoa,
it is some potent stuff.
Yeah, Dairy Gold's like in the Pacific Northwest. Anyway, it's 26 grams for 1 cup.
Yeah.
He drinks 1 cup.
That's easy. 1 cup, that's
8 ounces.
Yeah, it's nothing.
So he drinks 1 cup, but that's 26 grams. If I'm giving him 40 for breakfast, almost 30 of them is his drink.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just chocolate milk.
Gets half an Eggo.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so he gets like half an Eggo, or he gets one slice of toast. That's another 15 grams.
Yeah.
So that's it for breakfast? Well, he can't have just that. I want to give him yogurt too. Well, yogurt's another 15 grams. So you got to figure out like, okay, if I can find lower carb stuff, then I can give him more and I can stretch it out. So like we found a chocolate milk called Fairlife, and it's 13 grams for 1 cup, and it's amazing and blows Dairy Gold out of the water in terms of taste. They also make a regular milk that's also like that, and it's a 6 gram, where the normal is like 12 or 13 for a cup. It's 6 grams for a cup. So this way, if you're doing keto and you still want milk, you still want this, you can get a lower carb option to bring that in and just substitute that into something for whatever your meal plan is and how many carbs you want during the day. Because I've got a friend who, like, he's like, I want, like what you were saying, you were like, you ate sugar-free Jell-O with whipped cream.
That was my jam, man. That was my jam.
But you had what, 1 carb total?
Yeah,
with
that was
the
like
whipped cream?
with the whipped cream.
It?
It was 1 gram of carb with the whipped cream, because I think it was 5 calories per thing of the Jell-O, and then I did a big old dollop of whipped cream on there. It was like 1 carb and 1 gram of fat. Yeah, from that, and
it actually feels like you're eating something.
And he'd make himself like eat enough. Like you could eat 2 or 3 of them, and you're still not hitting.
You're fine. 15, 30 calories or something like that. So
you're playing within the margins.
Yeah. So it's just being smart.
Yeah.
And don't do like I did when you're trying to read these backs of these, the nutritional information, and you're walking through the store and you're checking everything, and then you get up to cat food. Or cat, you get to cat litter. Yeah, I turned the thing of cat litter around to look at the carb count, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I'm trying to figure out if I can eat cat litter, but it was because I was so ingrained trying to find stuff for Augie to eat, And we find like veggie straws and things like that, and there's baked Cheeto puffs. Or like
do the kid a favor and warn him before you start feeding him cat litter.
Yeah.
But anyways,
but there's ways.
Anyway,
we've
really gone down.
We went down a rabbit hole here. I like it because I like fitness stuff.
But I'm just saying there are ways to completely do your keto diet.
Yeah.
Still hit the carbs that you want for the day, and maybe still be able to incorporate some of the normal snacks that you would have normally eaten.
Yeah.
Without having to just go like, well, you mean I just got to eat meat and cheese all week?
No, you can have one cookie.
You can have
one cookie.
But Dane, you can have it where you're like, okay, this morning I'm going to have an English muffin, and I'm going to have eggs, I'm going to have bacon, but this is what I know
that's what you chose for the day.
That's for the day. So the rest of the day, I'm not going to have any carbs because this is my number.
Yeah.
I think Yvonne is something way low. He was like, he's down to like 10 or 20,
30,
something
20
carbs a day.
Because you'll get carbs from other foods and stuff like that. But I guess the biggest takeaway from this, guys, is that detailing. I know, like I'm just a hobbyist detailer. Levi was a full-time detailer. He did it for 20 years. When you're in the zone, you're going to eat whatever's in front of you. You're going to eat whatever's close.
You just need to get energy. You just need food.
And before you know it, you'll be gaining weight, and you're not going to realize why. You're going to get older. Your metabolism's going to slow down. You're going to stop taking care of yourself.
Even though you're working out, you're doing all that stuff.
And you can't always justify saying, "Oh, hey, I worked really hard today. I'm going to go drink a 6-pack of beer. I'm going to go do all this." You can't do that because the more you're not 21 anymore. You're not a kid anymore that has a fast metabolism. For the people that are out there that have been doing this for years, fitness is a big portion of your life
and your body can't handle it anymore. If you keep eating like crap and you're doing your job, and your job is your body, it has to work. It has to be it's the main tool.
Yeah.
It's not maintaining your equipment. You're your own equipment.
Yeah, you're not taking care of it.
Health is, you're already thinking about it, guys. You're already breathing in probably chemicals. You're probably not wearing a mask for every single thing you're doing. You're exposing yourself to these things. On top of that, you're also putting garbage in your body.
Well, constantly. And we're also getting to a point where for the first time in history, there are older detailers.
Yeah. There is.
Previously, the only old detailers I knew had neurological problems.
Yeah.
They'd shake really bad. They'd twitch and jerk and they kind of went nuts here locally. There was like
you're scaring people.
Sorry. I'm just saying. No, but I'm just
getting a Mad Hatter story going on here. Yeah.
What I'm talking about, this is back in the days before
any regulatory chemical things or anything.
Well, the people are just like, I don't care. I won't wear a mask. It looks dumb. I'm just going to go out.
No, they're breathing every type of particle. They're painting cars without using respirators.
Whatever. I feel fine.
Body guys.
Yeah.
They get lacquer headaches is the term for those of you in the body shop industry that the term. It's a lacquer headache. Mm-hmm. The only cure for that is to drink beer. So so there's a lot of body guys that become alcoholics because they start drinking beer in the afternoon because they've had a lacquer headache.
No, you don't understand. I have to do this.
No, they do that. It's one beer, but it's 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We're all having beers. Let's keep
5
going.
o'clock somewhere.
There's a lot of it's true though, and there's a lot of guys, if you're in the industry and you're stopping by these older body shops and you're stopping by and seeing some of these older detailers that were in body shops, they were harsh chemicals around, and there were guys that weren't that old. And there was one that used to stop by the shop that I used to manage. He'd stop by to say hi and talk to everybody. Homeboy was messed up because of the years and years of abuse that he put his body through. And, hate to say it, the industry for a long time brought up guys that maybe were on the outskirts of society, so to speak. So there was a lot of drug use. A lot of guys, and there still are. We all know those the tweakers and crackheads that we call it that are
when you're doing like a 100-hour detail and it's just like, wow, okay,
they're willing
calm
to
down.
do the car for $50 and they're going to stay up all night and work on it. Like there are guys
and
like that.
If that's you, we're not mad at you. Just get help, okay?
But then there are the professionals that are here that are clean cut, look sharp, run their business as a business. And for those guys, we're still saying the same thing. You've got to take care of your body. Because you've got to be able to run your shop. You've got to be able to run the business. You've got to be able to be there for your family. Like, that was my big thing. That was one of the reasons I switched to all Optimum products. It's because I needed something that was safe and clean in my shop, because my wife said that. You've been a detailer for 20 years. You've been literally washing your hands with lacquer thinner for 15 of those years. You need to do something different. You didn't always wear gloves.
Exactly.
You've been cutting and polishing cars, and you've not been wearing a respirator, using heavy cutting compounds. Like, you've been breathing in clear coat.
And it doesn't happen overnight. It's over time. It starts to happen. And just because you don't see it happening doesn't mean it's not happening.
Exactly. So personal protection equipment is just as important as what you're putting in your body, because you need to be able to, move. I have joint pain because I've been using them for so many
how are your knuckles, Levi?
It's repetitive motion, And so it's just overuse of those things and not going to the gym and working those things out, or seeing a massage therapist and having them work out issues.
I know it sounds like a luxury, but it's actually not a bad idea.
We do want to bring on a massage therapist to have you guys like learn a little bit. Anthony wants to get worked on while they're here.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
He's just splayed out across the table.
I will.
Anthony, why are you in the way?
Where's your shirt, dude? What are you doing? That's funny. But anyways, guys, I think that kind of wraps up today's, informative.
Well, we went off script. We got in some interesting deep dive conversations.
Hopefully you liked it.
You guys appreciated it.
Yeah.
I think they like it.
Yeah.
We do.
At least a few of them will.
Yeah.
But, no. So, anything else left to add?
Make sure you guys buy stickers.
Right.
Buy some Elantra stickers.
Yeah.
Please buy some Elantra stickers.
We'll be throwing up a live video later today.
Yeah, once they're ready and they're on the site, we'll do a little live video, announce it so people can buy them. We'd appreciate it. One of it is a test to make sure that, we've got people listening and we're not just three dudes talking on a microphone, that you're out there and you're listening. We've had great success with the Eagle 500 launch.
Yep.
We'd like to be able to do something the same. I mean, it's not as awesome as the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, the Elantra's pretty sweet,
but
the stickers are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think.
And it's supporting a good cause. That's the other thing.
We're gonna
making
pick
money
our own,
off of it. It's going to a cause.
And we're doing this for fun. We're doing this to help others, and we really appreciate it. So that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, with that said, we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
See you guys.